welcome to the after party Saturday night. We will continue the ride and on into the fun here. So let's see if we get a little adjustment right. So when this all comes up, y'all tell me if I'm 5x5 and you can hear me well. Come on, there we go. Computer's finally catching up. Make sure I've got everything on mute so we don't have all the crazy sounds. All right. 5x5, you guys all hearing me good? Woohoo! All right. Good news, at least this week, guys. AT&T finally got their shit squared away, and I'm going over 4G instead of Wi-Fi, so you don't hopefully have to deal with all the buffering. So, all right. So we got the gang in the house here. Belladonka, Voodoo Queen Herbalism. You are on my list to talk about tonight. Let's see. Jules is in here. There's Martina's Country Home, True American Loretta, Mad Max, Lady Dagger, Jacob. I see you everywhere. Okay, so all right, the gang's here, and I'm looking to see if any of my mods made it yet, and so doesn't seem like they're in here yet. We've got so many of them, they will get here, but we should be good. So, all right, so as soon as they get in, they can keep the riffraff out of here, and we'll go from there. So, we got a West Coast in there. I just saw Rhonda from Tucson in here. Here comes the whole gang. All right. Sounds good. So you guys know how this all goes. I'm going to go over some of the housekeeping here real quick. Lots of good news to share with you on housekeeping and some fun news for everybody as well. Okay. So let's start out. Of course, we will go here. You know, we've got to have the hats and we've got to have the pinball wine for Saturday night, of course. So, which the pinball wine is kind of fun because I actually saw a couple of videos this week where people who made the wine back somewhere in November, I think it was before Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving, are now finally getting it out and tasting it. And they're like, oh, this is good. And it's like, yes, it is. So if you guys make it, please put a video up and just tell me about it and everything. I'd love to see it. So seems like everybody's enjoying it and having fun. So that's all good. Next one I want to talk about. If Rip Curl's in here, I don't know if he's come in yet. He posted something in Prepper Nation's live here just before me that I thought would be fun. And if any of the other channels are out there, this is the challenge he's pitching to everybody. For Christmas Day, we are all supposed to do our videos in our ugly Christmas sweaters. But like John said on Prepper Nation, no flashing lights because we don't want to give anybody seizures. So yes, I will be there for my Christmas Day video. Will be in an ugly Christmas sweater. Okay. Which goes into my next little bit of housekeeping. Tuesday night. You guys all know I do a Tuesday night live stream. And so I'm going to be taking a little road trip about 3,400 miles north of here. And we have a special guest host with us on Tuesday night. So if your kids aren't interested in prepping, they might want to watch the video on Tuesday night. I'll just leave that hint out there if that's not as obvious as I can be. So next one, another piece of great news. If anybody saw the community post I made a couple of days, Voodoo Queen Herbalism, we can all bow down to you at Freedom Gathering. She was an intricate part in getting Harrison County, Missouri to repeal their mask mandate. And she sent me the story on it and everything like that. So I'm going to try to figure out how to actually get her on one of the live streams soon to tell everybody how she did it. So kind of do an interview with one of our subscribers. But very proud of her efforts and cannot say enough about getting some action done about stopping this craziness. You know, I mean, I said in John's live stream, I was at Hobby Lobby today. You guys probably all know what the store is. And the place was packed. I'm sure it's the week before Christmas or weekend before Christmas. Hundreds of people in there easily. Mrs. Pinball and I were the only ones in there without our masks. Not a single person said a word. No big deal. Went out to dinner last night at a restaurant with a couple of friends of mine and had my I Will Not Comply sweatshirt on. Went into the restaurant, no mask. Everybody's masked up. Sorry, not doing it. Nobody says a word. This is the thing, guys, okay? And I think a lot of people saw that and go, why am I wearing this damn thing when he's not, okay? And again, it's the old military thing, lead by example. They're sheep, we're leaders, okay? We need to lead, okay? And Voodoo Queen Herbalism is the epitome of showing everybody how to lead, how to get something done. So, ma'am, thank you very much. Okay. Last one, and we touched on it a little bit in Prepper Nation's here video, and then we're going to go to the fun stuff. If anybody has seen what's going on in Knoxville, Tennessee, this is the beginning to welcome to the liberal takeover of the country. Our vice mayor has now proposed a $100 million reparation fund for Knoxville to be paid for out of grants and out of taxes and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And so if y'all don't think it's going to happen, they're trying to get it through here in the city government. That's $100 million. Knoxville's not a big town, guys. I mean, including all the surrounding towns and everything, who maybe got 500,000 people. $100 million. It's a lot of money. Okay. So if you want to go look it up, the Knoxville news website, it's knoxnews.com, and just look for the story on the Vice Mayor, Gwen McKenzie, but I'll just read you the first little bit here. Knoxville Vice Mayor Gwen McKenzie has proposed a resolution that asks the city to apologize and make amends for decades of urban removal policies that displaced and marginalized residents. Okay, that's the beginning of it. It gets into a lot more deep, but yeah, it's getting a little insane. Okay, because East Tennessee isn't exactly your uber wealthy. This isn't Silicon Valley here. $100 million pretty much is all the money we have. So give you that as an idea. So that being said, and now that you get to listen to all of the housekeeping stuff, as per normal, I will ask if you want to ask questions. Go ahead, put them in there. Nothing's off limits. Let's stay away from the what Jen called the spank bank questions. We don't need to go into that. But put the questions in all caps, and I will do my best to do it. Answer your questions. Oh, one other thing, just wanted to tell everybody, thank you so much for last Tuesday's and last Saturday's donations combined between the two. If you didn't see the videos, we raised $1,000 between that. About half went to the food bank and about half went to Toys for Tots. We had an absolute ball doing it. I've got a couple of donations after I had gone to the store, so that got dropped off in the Salvation Army Red Kettles. So if anybody's doing anything, hey, that's what we did. Go back, watch the videos. Mrs. Pinball and I had a lot of fun doing the shopping. It was a little crazy and a little emotional. But again, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody. So, okay, that being said, let's get into some of the craziness. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top just in case I missed anything. And okay, I see North Shore Preparedness is in here as a moderator. So Sean, nope, Indiana Prepper's in here too. Okay, so you guys there's at least a couple of you in here. Good. You know the rules on trolls, no warnings, no nothing, boot, gone. Don't even tell, just boot. Okay, I have no patience for them. All right, so let's get into questions. Let's get back to the top. So, I'm just going to kind of scroll down here as I go. Peace pipe here, 420 friendly. Okay. What do we got? Let's keep it clean, have some fun. It doesn't have to be super clean. My virgin ears can handle it. So, where are we going here? Roots of happiness. You think you figured something out? Mama Preps. My son thinks I'm a hoarder. Yeah, your son's probably going to be pretty happy if the lights go out and there's no Nintendo to play. Raptor Ranch. I'm a girl. We don't do ugly sweaters. Yeah, but I'm an old guy and I have a ball with making an ass out of myself. So if I can poke fun at me, I'm good at it. Let's see, where are we here going on through? Mama's Legacy. Why do I have visions of Pinball dressed up like Elf on a shelf? Okay. what was I can't think of the comedians. Will Ferrell, can't stand him. Yeah, I mean, he'd be a midget compared to me as an elf. So, uh, Virginia, thank you very much for the super chat. Thanks for the wisdom and the laughs. I'm hoping I give you guys some laughs in here. I try to keep it a little bit of fun, throw some of my weird sense of humor at it, but give you just a little bit. If I give you some information, great. If I give you some enjoyment, great too. I try to do a little bit of both. I mean, looking at this ugly mug, for 15 minutes a day or whatever it is, that's a torture I wouldn't wish on the guys in Guantanamo. But there we go. Okay, so let's see what we got. Oh, I saw somebody there. What do we got? Lake Ferry Preppers in here. Caught that one. Let's see what else we got. Deborah Haynes, welcome aboard. Yeah, John and I kind of tag team on Saturdays and Tuesdays. He goes before me on Saturdays. I go before him on Tuesdays. So we John and I talked so many times. It's, made friends with each other. That's good. What do we got? Fairly local and made sure all the truck driver subs found out about the gathering tonight while I was on his channel. Good deal. Thank you for that. Let's see, where else are we going? Classy hats. This is my Saturday night clubbing hat. So we get it on Saturdays, not on Tuesdays. Bug out junkie. We're out today. Got several stairs. I smiled and blew him a kiss. There was somebody, if y'all missed it, somebody on John's video tonight. It was hilarious. She made the comment. She said she went into a store and somebody said no mask, and her response was no panties either. I thought it was just hilarious. It was a great response. Let's see where. RT, will the gray man be wearing a mask? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's the easiest way to stay gray is to blend in with everybody else. And if everybody else wearing a mask, wear a mask. I'm 6'8", 300. I'm not blending in anywhere. I mean, unless, it's an NBA, convention or whatever it is, then maybe I can pull it off. But, I'm just going to piss off everybody and see who's got the balls to fight back. We'll see, that'll tell me who it is. It's who runs and who stays. That'll tell me who my friends and who my enemies are. Liberty Off-Road. Asheville voted yes to reparations too. Wonderful. Okay. You guys aren't far away. Rogersville, Tennessee, north of the 52nd, had less than 30% wearing masks today. Good. Maybe we're starting to get enough people to wake up, I'll keep it somewhat clean, and realize that, the masks do no good. If you can smell cigarette smoke or whatever through it, then, a virus is going through it. It's not going to make a difference. Yeah, on the virus thing there, did y'all see the video of the doctor down in El Paso getting the shot? This has been making the rounds all over the place. If you look at the video real close, there's no plunger. It's already closed. They put the needle on him. It's probably one of those collapsible training needles, okay? And there's nothing plunged into him or whatever, and then everybody's applauding at the end. It's like, okay, guy, your medical career should be over because you just committed fraud on television, basically. So, I certainly don't want you treating me if you're going to lie on something like that. So, okay, where are we going here? Scrolling. Okay. Jefferson, got my 6. Okay, you're Marine, son. Yeah, damn straight, we got each other's, That oath never ends. So we're there, I got no problem with that one. Garth Wagner, everybody's getting tired of the crap. Yeah, we are. I mean, this is getting stupid, okay? Wear a mask. Stay 6 feet away from each other. Don't go see your families. I mean, if you saw the video this week or the interview, Fauci's saying, I never told anybody to cancel Christmas, until you go back to the link back about 2 months ago, and it's like, you need to stay away from grandma and the family gathering. I mean, he's basically saying, don't go. And I never did it. Typical Fauci, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Didn't say this, did say this. I mean, the guy's his own, gaff reel. I mean, he should definitely be Joe Biden's Surgeon General, because they think alike. They don't remember what they had for breakfast, let alone what they've said. So, those two should get along famously. Okay. North Shore already. Oh, yep. Matrix Llama. I know that one. You can get rid of that one quick. Deborah Haynes, there's a difference in smoke and droplets. Sure. The problem is the droplets stick to the mask and then you breathe them anyway. So you're just keeping them around longer, too. I hate when this thing does that. Yeah, Rip Curl, doctor should lose his license for an ethics reason. Exactly. Just silly stuff. Jennifer Skinner just got fish sitting for my neighbors. I had to dip out in between. And I hope you heard what I said because I just quoted your quote from the last one. That was funny. Yeah, CKOC. My grandfather died from loneliness, not the virus. Yeah, there is a thing called dying from a broken heart. I mean, why do you see so many of the elderly when one of the two in a couple dies so often the second one dies shortly thereafter? Their whole life for 50, 60, 70 years has been with that other person. That other person's gone. They just give up the will to live. And, loneliness is terrible like this. I'll give you a story real quick. Maybe you guys remember me telling you about a month and a half ago. My daughter worked in a nursing home up in Indiana. And, she's going to school, so she was doing a part-time job as a CNA because she's trying to get into the medical profession. And so the nursing home she was in had no cases of COVID, none, okay? Everything was fine. All of a sudden, because the company had two facilities. The other facility had like 30 cases. And so the idiot who was the director says, oh, we'll take all the people who don't have COVID from the other facility and move them over to this one. Well, of course, everybody else is like, that makes no sense. They could be carriers or whatever. So my daughter goes in and says, well, are you going to provide us with PPE, N95 mask? Oh, no, we don't do that. My daughter was like, in the hell with you. I'm out of here. You're not going to protect me and you're putting me in a high-risk situation. I'm not doing this. Talked to her earlier this week. They have 90 cases of COVID in the nursing home that had 0 because of this guy's decision, okay? So, when you think, oh, it wasn't Cuomo's fault or whatever. These are the stupid decisions that are being made. That's why this stuff is spreading. Okay. If they made common sense decisions, which, I mean, obviously that's not quality to be a Democrat, maybe we wouldn't be having this problem. But just an interesting sidebar there for you. I thought you guys might want to hear. Anna, drug ODs are skyrocketing. Yeah, suicide rates are, everything, just it's funny because they keep being put down as cause of death as COVID. Prepping 101. Philadelphia Inquirer just had a story this morning on employers being legally allowed to fire people for not taking the vax. They have legal backing. American with Disabilities Act won't help. That's going to be really interesting, okay? Because and y'all know employment law is what I've got to deal with in my job every day, okay? So if you're an at-will state, a company can fire you or you can quit for any reason or no reason at all. They don't have to tell you. They just tell you you're fired. They don't have to tell you it's because of the vax. They could tell you because I don't like the color. They don't have to tell you anything, okay? Obviously, they're not going to be stupid enough to say it's for any protected class or anything. But I'm still a firm believer in what's going to happen. I mean, you got... Last numbers I saw, 41% of the country was not going to take the vaccine. Okay. And, for the vaccine to be effective, they need 70 to 75% of the country so we can have herd immunity. They don't have that. Okay. They're 15, 18% away. So the companies can't fire all their employees and stay in business. And eventually they're going to realize, and this is what I've been saying from the beginning, guys, there's strength in numbers. If one or two people says, I'm not doing it, then nothing happens, okay? But if half of your employees all of a sudden say, I'm not taking it, then you're fired, fine, then you don't have a company anymore. The guy goes, well, crap, I can't do this. So, I mean, again, that's the thing. It's no different than my mask story today at Hobby Lobby and the people looking at me. And you wonder how many people got out to the car and said, I'm not wearing this damn thing anymore. He wasn't. It takes a little bit of backbone, and I totally get it where people are like, I can't risk it. I get it, okay? But you know, you've seen the stories on the nurse who was on live TV that went into anaphylaxis after 10 minutes after getting the shot. You've seen there was the story about the guy in London who was paralyzed from the shot for a couple of days, and they finally brought him back. I mean, there's a lot of side effects from this stuff that hasn't come out. I mean, we're the guinea pigs. They're still in the testing phase, guys, and we're the guinea pigs. So, take it with what you will. I get it if you feel you have to, and there's some people that are going to feel a lot more comfortable, and that's your decision. That's all we're asking for. As long as it's a choice, I don't care. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I will throw their line right back at them. My body, my choice. Should be real simple. They shouldn't. I mean, there's no argument to that. Otherwise, their other argument with that line doesn't hold water either. So, you can't have it both ways. Sorry, it doesn't. I mean, as much as they insist, you can. Sorry, logic tells you no. So, okay. So you guys got me on rants again tonight. CKOC, 11 million families will be homeless by the end of January. It's more like 20 million. They're 6 months behind in rent. That's going to be the next shoe to drop. And so you can see Mrs. Pinball and I were talking about it today. Their comments on we're passing a new stimulus package and we're gonna give $600 checks to everybody this time instead of $1,200 checks, and we're gonna add $300 to unemployment. Except what was it last time? Was it 600? I think so. They're basically cutting in half or what. And I said to my wife, I'm like, what the hell good does $600 do you when you're $8,000, $12,000 behind in rent? Big deal. You get a hotel for a couple of days. Oh, Jules, thank you very much for that. That was very sweet. And go out to dinner and stuff like that. Thank you. That was very, very sweet of you. Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, what good $600 to do? I mean, I'm not telling them to turn it down. Okay, they got something. But $600 isn't going to get them anywhere. You got to open the companies back so people can go back to work. The government can't feed us forever. I mean, literally, to get everybody to keep it, what are they going to do? Drop $20,000 in everybody's, $20,000 stimulus checks so everybody can pay all their back rent? Yeah, okay. Congratulations, we have a $45 trillion deficit. Oh, that's all Trump's fault. Of course, this is, damn well, January 21st, Biden's going to go, everything's Trump's fault. Doesn't matter, for the last 4 years, they've been trying to do every bit of crap to him they could to stop him from getting everything done. But yeah, when the homeless crisis hits, watch how the sides get even further apart. Okay, because damn well the Democrats have no solution, and all they're going to do is blame Trump, just like Obama did for 8 years. He blamed George Bush. Biden's going to come in, and for however long, well, for the 3 months he's president, and then for the next 3 years and 9 months that Harris is president, it's going to be blame Trump, blame Trump, blame Trump. So we know that's what's coming up. Okay, so everything probably scrolled all over the place, and I'm going to have to figure out where we were again. Prepping 101, Governor Whitmer opened everything up but the restaurants. That's where Michigan stands with the lockdown. How is this logical? None of this makes sense to me. Somebody else had mentioned today, and I forget what it was, about movie theaters being open in Michigan, but restaurants aren't. And somebody explained the logic to me. We've all been in a movie theater. So I'm sitting in the seat in the movie theater. I'm 18 inches tops away from the person next to me. I mean, if you're in one of those chairs, it's a big recliner or something like that. You're 18 inches tops away from the person next to you. That's okay. But when I'm sitting in a restaurant, which by default, I'm facing the opposite way as the person behind me, okay? And I'm at least a couple of feet away from them. And the way that all the tables are now, they've got every other table being used. How in the world, if I'm 12 feet away from somebody in a restaurant, that's no good. But if I'm 18 inches away from somebody in a movie theater, I am. I mean, Gretchen Whitmer must have went to the AOC School of Logic, because neither one of them have two brain cells they can rub together. It's just unbelievable, the crap that they come up with, But y'all voted for her. Get her the hell out. Impeach her. Do something. What did they do with they're trying to get Newsom out in California. Do the same thing with Whitmer. I mean, you can't tell me there's enough. I mean, even the Democrats in Michigan have got to go, this woman's batshit crazy. So, that's it. Tommy, the price of everything keeps going up. By the time you get the stimulus, it'll be worth half the value. That's it. I mean, and the stimulus, guys, causes inflation as is anyway. So, just because they're giving you the money, it's just causing everything else, the price to go up anyway, because now there's more debt. So it's putting a bandage on a sucking chest wound. It doesn't work. Okay, you got to fix the whole thing here. Kentucky girl, I will pass out aliates. I don't know what that means. Garth Wagner, I agree. Open it up before it shuts down for good. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Hey, original KM. We don't give warnings here. You don't give them 300-second timeouts. They just get kicked immediately. Okay. I don't deal with any of that crap. All right. That name I recognize. That's a troll. Boot 'em. Ben, I think Lady Pinball sounds better than Mrs. Pinball. She'd probably get upset with saying something like that. So, yeah, Lake Ferry Prepper Cuomo gave himself a raise. I saw, was it 40 grand or something like that? Yeah, because he works so hard for a living. He creates so many products, jobs, whatever. What the hell does he do? I still want to see a picture of Cuomo's Thanksgiving, because I guarantee there were more than 8 people at his house for dinner. Okay, but the rest of you New Yorkers weren't allowed to. Kelly, thank you for that. Appreciate the super chat there. So I popped through here real quick. I'm trying to look at 2 different screens here. One I'm trying to read and one I'm seeing fly through here because I'm doing phone and computer and everything like that. Metal for breakfast, go out to eat for those that can't. Yeah, there's still some places in town that are. There's one place the wife and I were at about a month ago. We found out yesterday that they're shut down because the staff came down with COVID. And we're like, no, okay. Fortunately, we haven't been there in a month. So, Liza Divine, we are at war with evil. Yeah, we are. I mean, I've said this and people believe me. Think of 1930s Germany, okay, and the leader then, and think of Klaus Schwab, German. Start listening to what they say. There's a direct parallel, guys. That's the World Economic Forum, okay? That's literally what they want, world domination. And we defeated that crap once. We're going to have to do it again. Yeah, Paul, average annual salary is 60 grand. He gives himself a $40,000 pay raise. Exactly. In this situation, I don't care if we were in 2019 and the economy was booming under Trump. Cuomo, you didn't deserve any pay raise. You should have been like what you asked everybody else to do. Turn in your salary. Say, I'm not taking anything. No, you took more money. Why don't you live like the rest of the people and go, I'm not going to take any money for my job? Because you don't do anything worth any money anyway. So what's the point? GMA Merkel, it's sad there are no trolls. They're smart ass candy. I just get rid. I do the same thing, and they come in the comments. You guys probably see them sometimes before I catch them. It's just like, yeah, I just get rid of them. I mean, they're worthless POS. I mean, un-American crap. People that best thing we should do is take them out in the desert. Give them a nice, third eye. Let's just leave it there. JW Survival, stock up on Freedom Seeds. It's a little late for that now. When I'm hearing 9mm rounds now are $1 a piece. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, over the summer we were buying them for less than $0.25 a piece. So that's just, yeah. I mean, it's a little too late to buy those. My Sterno can brother. Let's not even talk about that. That was an utter disaster. Okay, might have worked if I used the real cookie sheet, because it would have been a little more rigid. But I figured I'd give it a shot, and I wasn't getting in trouble for it. Okay, because I knew I'd never use it. Like I said, four sticks or a couple of rocks around a Sterno can is going to work better than anything to build, and I'm not going to waste all the time building it. So, North of the 52nd. Trump needs to address the nation and promise us the V is safe and effective. He hasn't lied to us yet. I don't think that's possible. Okay. And even if he is, and I'm 100% behind Trump, okay, I don't care if he says it's 100% effective. He's not a doctor. I don't care. I mean, the chief science officer from Pfizer already said it wasn't. That's, doctors all over the place are saying it is, it isn't. You don't know who to believe anymore. I asked my doctor, and my doctor says, I'm going to wait. That's all I need. I trust my doctor. At least my doctor knows who I am and has to say it to my face. And they say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. So go from there. Stuart, seems like most trolls lately have been bots. That's possible. I know the same name pops up every once in a while. Mayberry, thank you for kicking out another one. Sandy, you got lucky. Your employer gave you $250 worth of seeds, depending on if they're freedom seeds or if they're vegetable seeds. But either way, hey, we'll take it. $250 worth of vegetable seeds. We got a whole lot of vegetable seeds. So I'm guessing it's the other one. Okay, where are we going here? Fauci is a Luciferian. Yeah, no kidding. Liza Devine, the fact that drug companies can't be sued tells us everything. There is something called a vaccine court, but I mean, that's such a shady operation. I mean, it's no different than the FISA court with all the crap that we saw going on with Russia collusion. I mean, it's just a pay for play thing, and you know who's paying. All the drug companies are going. Hey. Here's a few thousand greenbacks. Just make sure we're okay on this one. I'll make sure your kid gets into a good college and you got it paid for. Yeah, the people aren't stupid. Politicians think we're a bunch of rubes. Unfortunately, that ain't the truth. For them, it's good for us. Yeah, Jules, at a yearly physical last Friday, doc said no to the vax. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and I'm hearing that from a lot of people that their doctors are telling them no. What do you want us to do? My doctor tells me no. For the most part, I'm going to say no. Doctor tells me yes. I'm going to ask a few questions. If the questions come up with good answers, I'll listen to the doctor. Still, they're the doctor, okay? But doctor tells me to inject bleach into me. I'm going to go, no, you're smoking crack. So. Northern Girl Hobbies, I got to rewind to hear about LG. Can somebody please respond? Don't know what an LG is. James Southern Prepper, I sent a super chat. Did you get it? Didn't show up on the screen. Didn't show up for me either, so no, I hadn't seen anything, but thank you for the effort. Trump named the Space Force Guardians of the Galaxy anywhere? Oh, God, yeah. God. Okay, yeah. Well, what the hell? You figure he's been locked up in the White House for, the last 6 weeks since the election? He's probably watching movies, and that's where it came from. Sometimes, as much as I love the guy, sometimes he's not all, I don't think he's 100% upstairs either. I mean, that's just a little over the top, yeah. Rob's memory, what do you think of the new Led Zeppelin pinball machine? Okay, haven't seen it, okay, and just don't know anything about it, so I can't even give you an answer. Back to where we were here. Yeah, Lisa, I will not comply. If I die from the Cerveza bug, don't let me vote Democrat. I don't think you're going to have any choice. They'll figure out how to do it, okay? It's, hey, they had to come up with about 30 million votes somewhere, It's like, okay, when you get the guy out registering people to vote, walking through a cemetery, there's your answer. So. Prepper Nation's in the house. Hey, John, I didn't see you pop in. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to the late night crew here as we pick up where you left off. Okay, where else we going? Yeah, River Rat, we talked about that. Problem lies when your job is telling you to take it or you're fired. And like I said, if you're in an at-will state, that's perfectly within their right. But if there's 10 people that work there and 9 of them say, we're not taking it, and he goes, okay, you're all fired. Good. Have fun running your business all by yourself. And he goes, "Oh, I'll just hire somebody to replace you." Okay, well, if you're a DoorDash driver, that's pretty easy. Okay, but if you're in any sort of skilled trade, I mean, I don't care, plumber, electrician, IT guy, engineer, nurse, doctor, you know, dental hygienist, whatever it is, it's not like those people are coming in, dime a dozen, and it's not like they're going to walk in the door at 8 o'clock in the morning and be working at 8:05. So, he's going to lose business. And as Prepper Nation said, as a lot of us have said forever, the easiest way to stop this is to hit him in the wallet. Okay. And if the company's going to fire you because of it, then fine, good luck. But don't expect me to go around either there, Mr. Boss, and tell everybody what a great company you were, because, good news travels maybe once or twice. Something really good happens to somebody, they'll tell one or two people. Somebody gets shit on by somebody else, they'll tell 20. Okay. So you want to destroy your business real quick, fire all your staff and let them run around town and go, don't go work for Mr. Smith over there because he fired me because I wouldn't take the vax. Good. Nobody goes and does it. Is that the way the guy's going to treat his employees? I'm not going to support him. See ya. Out the door. Guy's out of business. Have a nice day. So that's how you take him down. Let's see. Rip, 24 bucks a box for 1,000 rounds of 22. Okay, that's a decent price. But I think all of us, anybody who's got a 22 has probably got tens of thousands of rounds of 22 ammo. It's at least something there. It's the little bit bigger boom. Oh, gee, we got another one. Thank you, Indiana Prepper, for cleaning up the riffraff. Prepper Brian Keith, did I see that Trump made Sidney Powell a special counsel prosecutor? No, I did not. That must have happened this afternoon. I was out running around taking care of stuff for my mag, getting my mag Christmas presents. That was my afternoon. Tommy M, boycott forced vax companies. Again, if you guys go look at the Freedom Gathering website, one of the subscribers put together a 43-page long list of all the companies that we need to be boycotting, okay? Whether or not they're supporting the organizations that we all know and love, whether or not they supported Biden, whether they're doing BS like forced vaccinations or whatever it is, anything like that. These are the companies you don't want to be spending your money at. I understand some of them you don't have any choice because every single cell phone provider supported the left, okay? You want a cell phone, you kind of got to pick one. But there's a lot of other companies that you can avoid working with, and don't. Some of them there's nothing we can do about. Hell, we're all sitting here on YouTube right now, which is owned by Google, which is about as far left as you can get. Joseph Stalin is right of, Sundar Pichai. So, that's just the way it is. There's some things we don't have any choice, but we can do what we can. Paul, I spent time tonight with several friends. 80% will take the vax. I said, that's great. They need more test subjects. Yeah, it's a pretty good answer. You want to be a lab rat, go ahead. But, when all of a sudden, you're, I don't know, listen to the side effects, MS, Guillain-Barré, sterility, we saw the paralysis one, we saw anaphylaxis. You want to risk that? Go for it. It's fine by me. I'm living my normal life. Haven't got sick yet. If I did and I caught it, I didn't even know it. Like a lot of people, had no symptoms. So who knows? But again, it should be a choice, not mandated. You want to take it? That's your choice. I don't want to take it. That's my choice. Carrie, Trump is still my president. Yep, he still is. Exactly. And I get a feeling, and Prepper Nation did something on this morning on wargaming everything out. I thought it was very well done. We may wind up having two presidents in about a month. And I'm still a believer that we'll probably see three countries in the next, sometime this decade. Okay. The West Coast, the East Coast, Upper Midwest, and then free America, which will be the South and the Midwest. So we'll see how that all plays out. It's going to be an interesting time to be alive, but as I've said many times, God put us all here for a reason. Okay, there's a reason we're all here at this time, and we weren't here, 50 years ago or whatever. We weren't the right people for World War II or Vietnam or whatever it would be. We might be the right people to be here for this one. So, Garth Wagner looking for balkanization. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I have a feeling that's what's coming. Okay. Leia, did the government come to terms on a budget? I did see that they were. This again was late last night when everything expired, and they were like putting a Band-Aid on it, like to extend it for another week. So I haven't seen the news today whatsoever, but you know, chances are they'll Band-Aid it like they always do. Chris Ellenberg, do I remember when Dem was good for the people? Well, do I remember when democracy was good for the people? Democracy is still good for the people. Do I remember when Democrats were good for the people? That's never happened. Okay, so there's never been the only Democrat president that I will even give an ounce of credit to is Harry Truman for dropping the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Okay, other than that, every Democrat that's ever been president's been a total piece of shit, including FDR and including John F. Kennedy. Let's see. Do you think Ohio will secede too? I think Ohio would wind up with the free states, if you will. You can't really draw the map by the states. I mean, if you take Illinois, for example, you take Cook County, DuPage County, Will County, Kane County, they're all going to go up with the communist blue states. The rest of the state of Illinois is all going down to, the free states. Ohio, you may have everything up near Cleveland, up over to the Pittsburgh area. They may stay with the communist blue states. The rest of the state's probably going to wash down red. The one that I find is going to be most interesting is going to be Colorado, because Colorado is a blue state in a sea of red. So what's going to happen there is going to be interesting. Colorado and New Mexico are kind of like the toss-ups, because you can't have a country. You can't really have a country surrounded by another country, but part of, one. So those are the ones that are going to be interesting. So, fairly local. Oklahoma needs to leave the union first. Oh, I have no idea. I have no doubt in my mind which way Oklahoma's going. That's a foregone conclusion. Missouri goes with Texas. That's a certainty. I mean, everything down south. I mean, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. I mean, run up Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Idaho. That's all going red. There's no doubt there. Okay. I mean, Idaho, unless you get too many of the commies from California come in there that are trying to Californicate the state, that's the only way there. But where do I figure Kentucky and Tennessee stand? Solid red. Okay. Even though Kentucky elected Brashear, I don't worry about that. Tennessee is, with the exception, to give you Tennessee, with the exception of Memphis, obviously both our senators are Republican. Every representative from Tennessee in the House of Representatives is GOP, except for the one from Memphis. That's it. Okay, so, we're solid red. Kentucky, solid red. No big deal there. Mama preps for, I'm so glad I'm in Montana. Every federal seat went red. Yeah, no. Montana always surprised me because you guys you split it up a little bit. It's like, oh, we've got all Republican representatives, and then you have a Democrat governor. Excuse me. So, but yeah, everything. Yeah, Montana's a solid red state. No big deal there. The South rises again. Yeah, that's. I had an argument with somebody about. Oh God, this had to be April or May, I think it was. And now, mind you can all tell by my voice, I'm not a born and bred Southerner. Okay, I'm born and bred out of Chicago. And I had made the comment. I'm like, yeah. I said, you're going to see the South rise again. And he's like, oh, you're not going to do that. Like, no. I said, I'm not talking about slavery and Confederacy and plantations and all that sort of stuff. I said, but true Americans, true patriots, the majority of the South is true patriots. Okay. and I go back to my military time, the majority of the guys in the Army, at least when I was in, okay, either came out of the South or came out of the Midwest. You found very few out of the Northeast and very few out of California. Okay, California, Washington, Oregon. Utah was very strong. The Midwest, I mean, the Plain States, everything like that, very strong. But, New England, no. When I lived up in Boston and I walked around in my veteran's hat, I did not get very kind comments from it. Now, I actually had one woman call me a baby killer once, and I looked at her and I said, "Are you that stupid? Do I look that old?" Okay, I mean, I was born during Vietnam. I certainly wasn't over there. Okay, and no, the guys weren't baby killers. But again, you got to remember, liberals don't have two brain cells to rub together. The people hate the country, hate everything about it, everything we stand for. They just want to take, 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 take. So that woman obviously got a piece of my mind. So, but I come down here, and a lot of times, I mean, I'll walk through a store and it'll be 3 times somebody will come up to me and say, thank you for your service. I mean, this was last Christmas, and I was in a sporting goods store, and some little kid, couldn't have been 5 or 6, comes over to me, and just like the old moves, he kind of tugs on my shirt a little bit, says, "Excuse me, sir, thank you for your service." And I just looked at his dad and I was like, "You're raising him right." And I mean, that was it. It was just, it's cool. So, but depends on where you go in the country, where you come from. And, I wouldn't, as my saying goes, I wouldn't spit on the people from New England if they were on fire. Because most of them, I mean, not all of them, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like Massachusetts, Boston's blue and the rest of the state of Mass is red. Okay. New York, pretty much the same way. Most of the state of New York is red. It's the liberals who just want to thumb their nose at everybody and go, unless I'm serving them, I'm crap. Well, guess what? You are crap. Okay. Boy, you guys are getting me off on some rants tonight, but it's Saturday night. Yeah, Regina, my dad's a Vietnam vet. They did what they had to do. Yeah, exactly. Those guys didn't go over there by choice. Okay. Remember, they were drafted. In order for them to survive, they did what they had to do. So, the way that the Vietnam vets were treated when they got back was just absolutely despicable. I would expect something like that out of the Obamas. I wouldn't expect it out of the rest of the country. Let's see what we got. Doug Gilmer and friends, PCS. California, Oregon, Washington, the left coast. Hate even admitting to purple here on the road that I'm from Portland, Oregon. So happy to be out. Well, we can't choose where we're born. So, I mean, we could have all been born in Ghana for all you know. But, it's still a mindset. Yeah, you're from Portland, Oregon. Okay. Do you agree with everything that's going on there? Or did you get out, and say, okay, this is all wrong. Okay. The content of your character, ever heard that before? Anthony, I'm a Vietnam vet and fought over there. It was them or us. People just don't understand war. Exactly. Kill or be killed. Okay. Done. You guys did what you had to do. You didn't go over there by choice, most people. Okay. And it was other than that, you got VC and you got the NVA coming at you, trying to kill you. What are you going to do? Ask them if they want a cup of tea and sit down and play poker? No. You've got to stand your ground and save your life. I mean, that was it. It was more of a war of attrition more than anything else. Let's see. Prepping 101. Why do leftists hate freedom? Honest question. Isn't it human nature to want to be free? Yes, it is human. Okay. And I can kind of answer this. Okay. It's human nature to want to be free. Yes. But it's also our animalistic nature to take the easiest path. All right. And if you think about, I mean, pick any animal, whatever would be, and human beings, just another animal. Okay. If you've got to walk from this side of the house to that side of the house, do you take the straight line or do you walk all the way around? You take the easiest path. Okay. Now, you have some of your liberals that are power hungry. Bill Gates, pick a politician, Zuckerberg, Pinche, I can't think of the guy's name, Twitter, Jack Dorsey, You get these power hungry ones, Bezos, perfect example, that they want everything. They want more and more and more and more and more. But the majority of them are the ones that are too lazy to work. So they want the easiest path. And the easiest path is universal basic income. Let me just sit in my house, get up out of bed at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you'll just give me whatever I need. Okay. They're the ones taking the easiest path. The only free people are the ones who earned their freedom. The ones who are have it given to them aren't truly free. They just don't understand that. Okay. Hope that kind of answers the question. Raptor Ranch, born in Bavaria. My dad was Native American. I live on a reservation. I love it here. Somebody sent me this about a week ago. And Prepper Nation, maybe you know about this because this is somewhat in your neck of the woods. There's an Indian reservation in North Carolina that refused the mandates for lockdowns and everything because they just weren't going to shut it down. Now, obviously, that was where the casinos were, and they weren't going to give up the money. But the reservation said, hell no, we don't care that you're the governor. We're not shutting down. And I'm like, cool. Gracie Quinn, it's a Cherokee. I just don't know what the name of the reservation was over there. But yeah, it was Cherokee tribe. But yeah, I mean, again, true Americans, they're standing up for what they believe in. Even if the reason was financial, and I don't know that, I'm speculating. That's fine. They're still standing up for their rights. Okay, that some Yahoo 300-400 miles away can't with a wave of the pen go, gee, I'm just gonna kill everybody in the state, I'm gonna destroy them. No, it doesn't work that way. Patriot Sandwich Maker, North Carolina has Eastern Band Cherokee Reservation. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I could pull it up in the email, but then I can't talk, and it's too much goofiness doing all that. Where else we got here? Okay. Prepping 101. Sorry if it seemed like a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. I mean, it's, it doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, people would want to be free, so you kind of figure it out. Dave Jones, real heroes wear uniforms, not jerseys. Yeah. Don't even get me started on it. I mean, I'm no hero by any means or anything like that. I wore a uniform. It doesn't make me a freaking hero. I didn't do anything for that. There's plenty of guys that earned that title. Okay. But not a single one of them, claim to fame is they can put a ball in a hoop or can run really fast or something like that. No, those aren't heroes, maybe to a 6-year-old, but to anybody that, has got past the 6th grade, they realize, okay, these guys are just, overpaid idiots who just happen to be athletically inclined. I'd rather be inclined up here than athletically, because unless you're Tom Brady or Gordie Howe, pretty much your athletic career is over by about the time you're 40. And, at least for me, my mind's still working well after 40. So, Paul, I agree. I can't say it better. Vietnam vets, your service is appreciated. Very much, sir. Thank you very much. Delta Blues, thank you for the super chat. And the comment flew by, so I'm going to see if I can find it over here. Don't have 2 brain cells to rub together. It reminded you of an old Army buddy of mine at Fort Lewis in mid-'80s. No, I was never stationed up in Washington, but thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the kind comment. I do appreciate that. Let's see, where else we got going back up here. Okay, we're past there. Patriotic disobedience. At least I will not comply. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. No, I'm not doing that because it's stupid. Period. You find it. You give me a good reason to do something, I'll listen to your reasoning. If you don't have one other than I said so, okay. Again, think about when you're a kid. When you're a kid and Dad says, go clean your room. I don't want to. Why do I have to? Because I said so. That's a valid reason, okay? Because, the wrath of God was going to come down on you if you didn't do what Dad said. As an adult, I'm sorry. There's nobody that's going to come up to me and say, do it because I said so, right here, okay? You have no authority to tell me anything, period. Okay. Trust in God first. Everyone needs to show up in Washington in face paint and kilts. Yeah, there we go. We'll get Mel Gibson to lead us, right? God. North Shore, thank you. Appreciate the super chat there. Yep. Oh, yes. Okay. So North Shore is going on. You're going on at midnight, buddy? I'm assuming, because I'll run till then. So we'll go the typical hour and a half Saturday nights as opposed to the hour Tuesdays. Tommy M. Pat Tillman was a hero on all accounts. He's about the only, if you will, athlete that I will say I respect. I mean, here's a guy who played professional football for the Arizona Cardinals, making he wasn't the superstar, he wasn't making Tom Brady money or something like that. He was making good money. I mean, NFL players make $250,000 or something, $300,000 or $300,000, a year minimum. He gave that up to go fight for what he believes in, and it cost him his life. That's a hero, okay? Where he left his cushy life and went to walk into hell for all practical intents and purposes and died for what he believed in. That's a hero. Where are we? Yeah, do we get to do the Braveheart battle line guilt lift? Oh. No, there's too many jokes there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. River Rat, how well do I think the White House protest will go on January 6th? I don't know. The thing is, I see all these protests. We do the Million MAGA March, and we see all these things all over the place. And unless you get a seat at the table, the protests, to me, don't seem to have any effect whatsoever. I mean, they back up traffic for a while. They make a lot of noise. And Congress or whoever just walks right on past them and says, okay, ignore all these people. And that's it. I mean, somebody tell me what success we have seen out of any of these protest marches. We've seen a lot of people get hurt. We've seen a lot of people get arrested. But I haven't seen it make any difference on any of the politicians. I'm trying to find something different to do than rather than just, 100,000 people getting out there standing there making noise. I mean, great, it's a huge block party. Congratulations, but Congress doesn't give a rat's ass. It hasn't changed anything yet. So we've got to do something that changes things. And that's where, we're all talking about the civil disobedience or whatever, not wearing your mask. Jennifer's comment, I think, was classic. I can't get away with it, but that's how we need to do. That's how you're going to change it. Okay. By just telling everybody, making everybody feel like they're not alone, and, millions and millions of people just resisting doing it rather than bitching about it. So my thought, I know other people have different thoughts, and that's totally fine with me. Okay. That's just my opinion. I haven't seen any results from, the marches yet. When I see those, okay, great. I mean, we've seen at least a tiny little bit of one from what Voodoo Queen Herbalism did. Hey, if we got one county to overturn the mask mandate, that's more than 100,000 people marching on Washington have got done, right? My thought. If Spunk Cat, if we protested at all the state capitals and all the states we can, it might help. If we could get inside, like that protest, I want to say it was in Michigan, where they went inside and were in the rotunda there in the House of Representatives. I think it was in Michigan. That might make a difference. But standing out on the street corner behind a bunch of barricades with a bunch of cops in front of you, and they just walk right past and go in, they don't care. I mean, that's the thing. You honestly tell me that Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer gives a rat's ass that there's 100,000 Trump supporters outside, and that's going to make them go, oh, gee, you know what? We're upsetting these people. We need to do something different. Do you think they really care? No, not at all. If anything, it empowers them to do more. They're like, look, we're going to go piss off those 100 people today. So, Brenda, the media downplays all the large Trump gatherings anyway. Oh, yeah. I mean, the last MAGA march, I remember reading the stories. Oh, there's tens of thousands of people out here. And you see these helicopter shots, and they're like, Okay, for a mile long, it's, people. All right, 10,000 people. I could probably fit 10,000 people in my property. Okay, this would have been, you know, down a street for 2 or 3 miles. There's hundreds of thousands of people. But yes, they downplay them all the time. Uh, yeah, Mayberry. I just hope that all these businesses who are shut down in the spring learn and prepare to stay open this time. Uh, did y'all see the story? There was a video out earlier this week where a guy up in Maryland had his little hardware store closed. His daughter worked there, and the health department was just being a complete prick to him, and shutting him down. It's a little tiny town in Maryland, okay, and they shut him down. And I was like, I wrote the guy on his video because it's the only way I can get hold of him. And I said, you need to do what my hardware store did, because like I told you guys before, I've got a couple of little hardware stores here. And the one Do It Best store up in town, they did a great thing. They closed off their front door. They put a sandwich board out front and says, dial this number. And they had, they made like a little alcove in there, just put some plywood up, and you could walk in, you're in this little 6x6 room after you go in the front door. And this was at the beginning of the pandemic. And you call them up, you tell them what they want. I want, two PVC pipes and a box of nails, whatever the hell it would be. They go get it. They bring it up to the counter. They put it through the window. You pay for it and go. Nobody went in the store. Hey, you want to do that? I said to the guy, I said, do the same thing that all the restaurants did. I said, if they can serve people outside, I said, tell your customers to call inside, tell them what you want, bring it out to them and charge them. Done. I don't know if that's what he did, but but it was an idea. It's like, maybe it keeps you in business. Let's see. Yeah, Tommy, exactly. All the mom and pop stores are closed, but the ones the billionaires own are all open. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. I mean, I've said this on a few videos before. Why can Walmart be open and have 100 or so people in it at any given time, but the little corner drugstore that might have 3 customers in it at once can't stay open? It doesn't make any sense. It's politics. That's the thing. Yeah, I get a little hate for some reason. They don't like how raw and uncut I am. Yeah, well, that's about it. So, I really don't care. And, the trolls want to come in, fine. That's, like I said, you guys just, no warnings, just yank them. They'll come back a couple of times with other names. Just boot them again. I don't care. We got 426 people in here right now. I don't think the trolls are going to affect anybody. And Mama Prep saying I love my rants. You get a lot of them. So, you want to see some real rants, go over to my Rumble page. That's when you get to really hear me unfiltered. This is still calmed down. Swamp Fox, January 6th, there will be thousands of armed and angry Trump supporters. I hope they're not armed in Washington, D.C., because that's a felony. So that would be a big problem. But, yeah, January 6th, there's going to be a whole lot of pissed off people. I don't care which way this goes, guys. It ain't coming out good, okay? If Biden wins, the Trump survivors are going to be pissed off, or Trump supporters are going to be pissed. If somehow Trump pulls it off, the Biden supporters are going to be pissed. Go back a couple of months ago and watch my video on what happens if Trump wins, okay? Everything I said so far is coming true. And I mean, I think I did that video in late October, early November. And everything I said in there, it's just playing right out exactly. Actually, go watch either one of them. They're both playing out a little bit. So, Mayberry, in Pennsylvania, restrictions are no more than 10 indoors. Shouldn't Wally World, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's be held to the standard? You'd think, right? If I can't have 8 people in my house for Thanksgiving, why the hell can they have more than 8 people in Walmart? Why? Because Walmart is obviously sliding a whole bunch of that green stuff to the politicians, saying, we need to, you need to keep us in business, So you guys, we know this is a power grab and a money grab. That's all it is. Okay. Like I said in my video, I think it was yesterday, World Economic Forum. The key word in there is economic, okay? They're trying to destroy the economy. They're trying to change the world economy, okay? I mean, it's right in front of everybody's face and nobody's really seeing it. World Economic Forum. We don't have a one world economy, okay? We trade with each other as we decide we want to, okay? If we don't want to trade with the country at all, we don't. If we want to restrict them, we put sanctions on, whatever it would be. Yes, man, I'm having my wine. I mean, you can see how much I've had, maybe a third of a glass. So, yeah, Southern Magnolia, hundreds in my Walmart parking lot Walmart every day. Hard to find a parking spot. Yeah. Why is it okay to go into Walmart? I mean, 6 feet. Y'all been in a Walmart, okay? You got narrow aisles that maybe two carts can squeeze past each other, okay? But then in the main aisles, they put all the damn displays down the middle so one cart can only go on either side. So by definition, you can't stay 6 feet apart because there's so much stuff in your way. Your assholes and elbows running around trying to get around people. It just doesn't work. Kevin, you didn't hear an empty wine bottle rolling around here. Lisa, Walmart should require pants and bras, not masks. Yeah. And it's not that bad here, believe it or not. But man, when I lived in Vegas, oh, you go into Walmart and it's like, I cannot believe this person even came out in public like this. It's like, okay, there's a little piece of dental floss and, we're good. Okay. Scrappy Cat there signs up with capacity now. Yeah, I mean, I love the person in front counting. Right, and just do it for show because we're not turning any business away. Blue Ridge Patriot, thank you for that. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat there. Deborah Haynes, every time I go in the store, somebody tries to climb in my back pocket. Ain't that the truth? Let's see. River Rat, do I think Trump will institute martial law January 6th? I kind of have a feeling it's going to happen before that. I'm thinking New Year's weekend. Totally speculating here, okay? But hear me out on this one for a second. I think this ties right into, I mean, there's too many things that all come into play right at the same thing. You're going to have New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, which is a Friday, okay? So you got, think about this. New Year's Eve is a Thursday night, New Year's Day is a Friday, so therefore it's a day off of work for everybody. Then you got Saturday and Sunday. So feasibly, that could be 4 days of nonstop drunken debauchery, all right? The 5th, then, is Monday. That's the day, the first business day, when all of a sudden these people are going to start getting their eviction notices. So you're going to have right in there all these people getting pissed off because they're getting kicked out of their house, and the Electoral College at the same thing, and all this crap is going to go down at the same thing. Patriot Sandwich Maker, thank you. The 4th is Monday. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're asking me to do math at 11:30 at night, guys. So yeah, I figured that weekend with the craziness in there, that's going to be when it's going to happen. That's my guess. Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't know, but that's kind of the vision I see is 20 million people all of a sudden going to be real pissed off, plus all the other people that are going to be real pissed off, plus we know that that's coming down. Yeah, that's when that could be the spark that sets off, the Roman candle here. What else we got? Yeah, Tina Mitchell, in my town, the small stores are still open and doing business. It depends on where you are. I mean, around me, yeah, too. Okay, then I'm out in rural Tennessee. All right, and we're a solid red state, and masks. Wear a mask if you want. Don't if you don't want to. But the businesses are open. I mean, I can go get my hair cut or do whatever. That's very different than what it was in the springtime when everybody was shut down. But we're also talking about companies that are like in New York or whatever that would be that are shut down. I mean, we know all the restaurants in New York are now shut down. Sorry, can't go eat. They can deliver or whatever. That's not going to fly. So it depends on where you are. I mean, all I think everybody's asking for is let the businesses open back up and let people make a decision about wearing masks and getting a shot. I'm fine if you want to leave masks up to decision. If a company says, hey, you got to wear a mask to come in my store, great. You made that decision. I can make a decision to go shop somewhere else. That's fine. Freedom of choice. Okay. One of our constitutional rights. So, wrapping, when it comes to martial law, are we talking tanks, MRAPs, or just troops? You're not talking tanks and all that sort of stuff. It's not, this isn't Tiananmen Square type martial law. This is just going to be, it's not going to be nationwide either. It's going to be, it'll be in select areas. We've all seen all the videos where all of us have talked about the troop movement, and you're seeing troops moving into Pennsylvania, troops moving into Michigan. They're moving into all those swing states. What I see happening with the beginning is Trump and legally can seize all the voting machines, and I think that's what he's waiting on doing right now, is having the military all get into position, and then they're going to go through and seize every one of the voting machines in Nevada, in Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and they're going to pull all that together. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think this is going to be the soldier standing on the street corner with his AR-15 saying you can't go down here, what's your business in this neighborhood. I don't think we're going that far. Okay. Patriot Sandwich Maker, is it National Guard movement or active duty? It's got to be the equipment can be active duty equipment. Okay. Constitutionally, active duty cannot do anything in the United States. Okay. We cannot fight against Americans in the United States. That's National Guard is there to be a pseudo police force if need be. Active duty military cannot. Okay. Nor can the reserves. Where else are we going? Yeah, Doug Gilmer, see lots of military equipment moving all around the country every day. Yeah, they're repositioning a lot of stuff to where the hot spots are going to be. That's normal. So, that's kind of what's going on, because you think about the National Guard, armories and stuff like that. Yeah, they've got the small arms, but you don't have the radio equipment, the comms equipment, or if we got to the point of tanks rolling down the streets, they don't have those for the most part in the National Guard. They've got some, but not the scale you'd need. So they'd need the active duty logistical hardware, logistical material, hardware, everything like that to do it. But the troops will be the National Guard. Regina Morgan, they're moving things here and at night, so yeah, something's coming. Yeah, I mean that's it. You wake up one morning and all of a sudden there's something new, different. That's standard operational procedure. They're not going to try to move material in rush hour traffic, so they'll move it at night. I obviously under the cover of darkness for that reason, but more or less because it's easier logistically because there's no traffic to move around. Vance Air Force Base has been moving stuff out by truck and train cars. They've also been landing and taking off with no lights on at all on base and planes. Okay, that's interesting. If they're landing with no lights on at all, that would sound more like a training mission. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't make a lick of difference for anything that's going on. I mean, that sounds like training to me. In the case of martial law, that military taking over government duties, that wouldn't be active duty federal troops. No, it would not. Still be National Guard. Pinball, there are going to be a ton of squatters proclaiming squatters' rights. Police are going to have their hands full and won't be enforcing said evictions by tenants or past due mortgage homeowners. Agreed. I mean, it's going to completely overwhelm the court system. Okay, it's not like eviction. The landlord doesn't go up knocking your door and say get out. It's the sheriff handing you papers, and then you've got to go to court, and then the court says you have to be out by such and such a date, and then the sheriff's there making sure you're out. I mean, evictions. I mean, evictions and foreclosures could take a long time. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but what I wonder, this is where you get into the scary stuff. We've all seen stories like this. Somebody gets evicted from their house, their apartment, whatever it is, and they go and completely trash the place. Okay. There's the other thing. Now this guy's okay. I've got my apartment back. You go in, and every wall's got holes in it, and the sinks are all busted out, and everything. It's like, okay, now he's got to spend all this money that he doesn't have because he hasn't been collecting rent for a year to fix it. So the place is all wind up decayed crap, and we just have slums all over the place now. That's a possibility. Brenda Hobbs, it can take months to actually evict or foreclose. Yeah, I'm guessing with all of this, it's probably going to take over a year to get some people out. Lisa will not comply. Leavenworth has been very active. Let's see. Deb, you have a friend issued some of these notifications now in Pennsylvania. Are we talking about like eviction notices and foreclosures? Yeah, eviction, though, if you make a payment, and they accept it, the eviction process has to start all over again. Correct. Prepping 101, I don't see much happening in Oakland County. Oh, yes, you're answering Deanna. Okay, I was say the only Oakland County I know is outside Detroit. God knows there's got to be more. It's not like it's an uncommon name. Commercial evictions can be commercial evictions in Texas can be as simple as chaining the doors. Yeah, but we're talking about residential. I don't think they can do that. Pinball, I don't think it's training when they even shut off lights in the living quarters section or on the nearest non-military controlled roads. If they're shutting off the lights in the BAQ and the BOQ, that's interesting. I wouldn't know why they do that. Yeah, it could be some sort of it could be blackout training. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, that one I have no idea what that one is. That's why they tell the families, if you will, to shut down the lights. I don't know. Frank's Bees, it'll get bad when people get hungry. That's why we prep, okay? We've got all this food kept back. That's why we prep. So we're not the ones, that are hungry. This is where somehow keeping your preps quiet and being the gray man is going to be important because you don't want everybody running your house. Jennifer, thank you for the super chat. Let's see what you say. Stop wearing masks in the stores. I find more people chat. It's been long since I could talk to somebody in the store, but I find the elderly are really missing out. The thing that drives me most nuts about the masks is, 80% of communication is nonverbal. You can't see when somebody's smiling or somebody's pissed off or something like that. You can, that. And behind this mask, you can't see that. It's like they pass somebody and say, hey, and they just smile back. You're like, okay, they replied. You can't see the smile in the mask. You're like, oh, what an asshole. Didn't even reply when I said good morning. So, yeah. Yeah, the averted eyes, some people will look at you and other people, are thinking, it's like, damn, she's got balls. She didn't, she's not complying. I wish I was that strong to do that. So, Southern Magnolia, for 35 years, jets from Tinker Air Force Base have flown over my house, rattling the windows. Haven't heard any in months. Huh. Now, see that? Now you're giving the exact opposite of what everybody else is saying. I do not know. I'm assuming they didn't close down the base, but Pipgal, have I seen the clear masks? No, I haven't seen that. My favorite one though is still the guy that put the fishnet stockings on as a mask. Deb K, I don't know, but choppers are flying over our area. I haven't seen any unusual activity over here. I'll see a military helicopter maybe once a month go over here, and I've got to think that's either Air Force or Air Force, the reserves meeting on the weekend or National Guard or something like that. I mean, nothing much. Not that I'm near a military base or anything, but I mean, I haven't seen anything out in this direction. What do we got? All right, guys, we got about 10 minutes, so fire the rest. If y'all didn't see, North Shore Preparedness is going to do the after party. So he's going to go on at midnight. I think I popped in there last week, and I think he went till like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, I think I made it till about 1, and that was it. But yeah, well, for you guys on the West Coast, I guess it's still early because you guys are just coming up on 9 o'clock. For those of us out here, it's well past bedtime. Okay. Prepping 101, getting 3 flyovers, 3 helicopters a day here in Mid-Macomb County in Michigan. Yeah, that's got to be National Guard again because there's nothing up there in the way of active duty bases. Or reserves. I mean, obviously, weekend warriors. Tinker in Oklahoma, right? Mary Shiro's made a cheesecloth mask. Just about as effective as anything else, I still think the funniest thing, though, is when you see the sign where the banks say, "We require masks." I'm living in the twilight zone. It's just, oh yeah, there we go. Selfridge Air Force Base. I forgot about that one. Okay. It's been a while since I lived up there. Raptor Ranch, oh my God, we got lots of snow. Are you in upstate New York? I heard somewhere up there got 41 inches. So I laughed. If Michigan Mom Prepper is still in here, she was saying in Prepper Nation's chat earlier, it's actually warmer in Michigan than it is in Tennessee this evening. And she's like, yeah, we're going to have a green Christmas. And down here where I am, we're actually forecast for snow on Christmas Eve. I'm like, are you kidding me? Not that I'd mind. I'd love to see some snow for Christmas Eve. But I'm like, Tennessee. We have a guy who Mama preps for. We have a guy that wears a thong for a mask at Albertson. There's just too many jokes in that. Okay. Hopefully he's not trying to floss his teeth at the same time, but it should wear a mask made of pantyhose, see-through and believable. So, all right, guys. You know what? I'm going to cut it just a little short here. I'm going to give North Shore a few minutes because he's one of the mods here. I'm going to give him a few minutes to get himself set up, because I'm starting to not be able to talk here. But like I said, keep an eye out for Tuesday's live stream if you all want to stop by for that one. Like I said, I've got a special guest host doing that one, so this one ought to be a lot of fun. But all that, you guys have a wonderful 8 minutes what's left of your Saturday if you're on the East Coast, and 3 hours and 8 minutes if you're on the West Coast. We will see y'all in videos for the next couple of days, and I'll talk to y'all on Tuesday. Pinball out.